Our fourth historic speech is Wangari Maathai, a Nobel Peace Prize-winning environmentalist and women's rights advocate from Kenya, who founded the Green Belt movement in 1977. Encouraging Kenyan farmers, 70% of whom are women, to plant trees to stop soil erosion, provide shade, and create a source of firewood and income, the movement led to the planting of over 15 million trees across more than 30 countries. In 1989, Maathai denounced President Daniel Arap Moi's proposal to erect a skyscraper in Nairobi's largest park, and officials warned her to curtail her criticism. When she took her campaign public, Moi's parliamentarians threatened to mutilate her genitals in order to force her to behave like women should. Her speech, Speak Truth to Power, delivered in the year 2000, called on women to have similar courage in the face of the threats directed against them for their activism. Speaking today as Wangari Maathai is Dr. Desiree Lalbeharie-Josias. She is the director of the Early Childhood Department at the Collaborative for Educational Services. Dr. Lalbeharie-Josias is from Pietermaritzburg, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. She grew up during some of the most challenging years of apartheid, which has guided and informed her efforts against all forms of social injustice. Her 25-year career has been dedicated to the field of early childhood development and education and empowerment in the context of family, social justice, and public health issues. She currently serves on the board of Mother Women for both Mother Women and the Africana Collaborative. I present to you Dr. Desiree Josias performing as Wangari Maathai.
The Green Belt movement in Kenya started in 1977, when women from rural areas and urban centers, reflecting on their needs at organized forums, spoke about environmental degradation. They did not have firewood. They needed fruits to cure malnutrition in their children. They needed clean drinking water, but the pesticides and herbicides used on farms to grow cash crops polluted the water. The women talked about how, a long time ago, they did not have to spend so much time going out to collect firewood, that they lived near the forest. They spoke of how once they ate food that sustained their health. Now, while the food does not require much energy to grow, it does not sustain them. The women feel their families are now very weak and cannot resist diseases, that their bodies are impoverished because of an environment that is degraded. The National Council of Women, a non-governmental organization, responded by encouraging them to plant trees. In the beginning, it was difficult because the women felt that they had neither the knowledge, the technology, nor the capital to do this. But we quickly showed them that they did not need all of that to plant trees, which made the tree planting process a wonderful symbol of hope. Tree planting empowered these women because it was not a complicated thing. It was something they could do and see the results of. They could, by their own actions, improve the quality of their lives. The main focus is how ordinary people can be mobilized to do something for the environment. It is mainly an education program, and implicit in the action of planting trees is a civic education, a strategy to empower people and to give them a sense of taking their destiny into their own hands, removing their fear so that they can stand up for themselves and their environmental rights. Environmental protection is not just about talking. It is also about taking action. People who live near the forest are among the first to see that the forest is being destroyed. People who live near water resources are the ones who notice that their springs are being interfered with. People who are farmers recognize that the soil is being exposed and carried away by the rains. These are the people who should be the ones to draw attention to these problems at both the local and national levels. And this is the process I have seen with the Greenbelt movement. Women who start to plant trees on their farms influence their neighbors. Their neighbors eventually become involved. At the national level, we have been able to draw the attention of the Parliament and even the President to the need to protect the environment. And now we see the government reacting to what the environmentalists are saying, that the remaining forests not be degraded, that open spaces not be privatized, and that the forest not be interfered with or privatized. This pressure is coming from ordinary people. We started by empowering women. Then the men joined in because they saw that the women were doing some very positive work. The clarity of what you ought to do gives you courage, removes the fear. This is what happened between me and President Moi. In 1989, the President wanted to take over Uhuru Park, the only park left in Nairobi. He was going to build the highest building in Africa, 62 stories. Next to the skyscraper, he was going to put a 4-story statue of himself. It also would have been an economic disaster, as was borrowing the money to do it, putting us in greater debt. And so we raised objections. We staged a protest in the park and were beaten by the police. We were only a small group of women because at that time there was a lot of fear. We lost the case in court, but we won in the end because those who were providing the money withdrew due to the outcry from the public. When I do what I do, I must have courage. You know, when they attack me, I say, this is violence against women. When they threaten me with female genital mutilation, this is violence against women. When they attack me, I attack them back. At this particular moment, I am only seeing one thing, that I am moving in the right direction.